Sponsored by Django Energy Drink. No fear.
Many of his songs were addressed as haters.
Osei Kromu Ebeye Dankasa Retro Park at another unforgettable night of music and celebration. Bremo 2023 Night with the Stars. Mr. Music Man Coventry. Touch it. Pass me the touch it. King Province. Kofi Kinata. And the
Thanks for choosing us. We settle for the details now. In this afternoon information, Joy News has picked up as reviewed a spy virus attack in Ghana, exposing millions of Android users on some social media platforms to hackers and other criminal syndicates. Both the National Security Ministry and the Cybersecurity Authority, we understand, are currently tracking the source of the malware to neutralize its effect. Shortly, we'll get to hear from a cybersecurity expert on how exposed we all are to this and what we can do to minimize our risk of attack. First, Joy News editor Fred Smith, also a member of our security desk, joins me in studio with more on what we are learning on this. Fred, first, the technical term used by the National Security is malware. What exactly is it?
Indeed, MFR, malware is any software intentionally designed to cause disruption to a computer, a server, or a computer network, which can leak private information or gain unauthorized access to information or systems, and deprive access to information, or which unknowingly interferes with the user's computer security and your privacy.
So what do we know about this particular attack then?
Well, we understand from our sources that the National Security picked up the intelligence from the multinational antivirus company Kaspersky, which has discovered that the existence of WhatsApp and Telegram modifications for Android devices that have embedded malware called Cane Spy, and this is coded in Arabic and Azerbaijani. Now, communications from the National Security Ministry to the Communications Ministry asking for their intervention explains that these WhatsApp and Telegram modifications are designed to activate the spyware module when a phone is either switched on or starts charging, and subsequently establish contact with the server to steal your sensitive information, such as the IMEI number, which will be the phone's identification number, your phone number itself, the mobile country code, mobile network code, and details about the victim's contacts and accounts every 5 minutes. So, for instance, if I'm attacked and you are in my contact book, you don't have to be attacked. Once I'm attacked, you can be attacked.
Okay. And we are learning from the Cybersecurity Authority also that measures have been taken, investigations are underway, and that the public ought to stay calm on this.
Indeed, they want the public to remain calm as investigations continue.
Okay. Well, we can hear from a data and cybersecurity lawyer and artificial intelligence expert, Desmond Israel. He's been explaining the risk of exposure and solutions.
There are actually 3 variants that we're dealing with now. So GB WhatsApp, which is also the Hey mode, is one of the versions that is pushing the particular malware. And then there is WhatsApp Plus, and then there is AZE Plus. So these are actually 3 variants of WhatsApp modes that actually carry the Trojan canister. From my perspective, it's critical that users are aware and not to patronize these versions of WhatsApp. Concerning what the exploitation could be used for, so the IMEI number can be picked, phone numbers could be picked. The attacker can turn on your mic recordings. They can move data off your external storage. They can actually pull your contact details, and they can also get your country and network codes. For that purpose, clearly identity theft is possible. SMS-based attack is also possible. You could also have the possibility of SIM cloning attacks, especially.
Well, so that's a cybersecurity and artificial intelligence expert there, Desmond Israel. Stay calm and make sure that you have antivirus on your phones, and especially for Android users. Now, some Ghanaian urban dwellers are citing non-performance as the reason for the continuous apathy in district-level elections, especially in urban areas. The Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Boche, had raised concerns about the low level of participation in urbanized and affluent communities. Here at cantonments in Accra, some persons argue that Assembly and Unit Committee members often prioritize the title honorable over actual responsibilities, contributing to the disinterest in the elections. But before we hear that, what role will Assembly members play if elected? My colleague Sweetie Abochi engaged some aspirants. So listen.
So the role of assembly member one, you are the intermediary between your community members and local governments. Let me put it that way. So more or less, you represent the people in terms of their needs, their prioritization of their needs. You bring it to the assembly. So what needs to be done is that at every general assembly meeting, you, the assembly member, need to meet your electorates. What are their needs? What are their problems and challenges? That is what you bring to the discussion at the general assembly.
Now, you know what their role is, but we can hear from some urban dwellers indicating that assembly and unit committee members often prioritize the title over actual responsibilities, leading to a lack of interest in elections.
Most of them like to have their name to be called honorables, but what they are supposed to do, they are not been doing. It's good to have assemblymen in the area because they are in the area and they know what is going on in what the area needs. They are not doing their work well.
It looks like people don't have too much trust with the assemblymen. They are not up in doing. When you call them for some job, they are reluctant to come. But when it's time for them to vote for them, you see them rally around looking for people to go and vote. But after voting, they just go and relax.
Go to my area, for instance. I think we don't have enough refuse beings, and the assemblymen are doing nothing about it.
So some urban dwellers, they're interacting with my colleague Maxwell Agbagba here in Cantonment. Now, the upcoming district level elections will record a high voter turnout, mainly because of the interest of constituents to vote against underperforming assembly members. Well, that's according to the Asokwa Municipal Director of National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Nathaniel Chenebua Kudia.
I'm even hoping that it will even cross 50%. Because we done a lot of engagement. They expressed willingness to vote. Some of them, they said, because the promises that the assemblyman made, he wasn't able to fulfill it, so they want a new face. For that matter, they will vote whatever means possible. They will use it and vote and then maybe have a new face. So this time around is better than the previous. Based on the interest of the public. 2019, you see people lining up for questions and they say they won't vote because they haven't seen any development in their community. They won't vote because the promises that the assembly member made, they haven't fulfilled it and all that. But this time around, you go to a community, I think they've understood the concept of our democracy.
Well, so that's the NCCE, Asokwa Municipal Director there. If you're not happy with what you see in your area, make sure you turn out and vote against your assembly person or elect a new one. Well, we can hear also from the NCCE boss herself, Madam Kathleen Adi, raising concerns about the extent of monetization in political elections in the country. She's concerned that it's even creeped into the district level elections.
It has to return from wherever it's coming from with interest, and it will return. It will go back to where it came from. And if we are not careful, we the citizens will be the losers if that happens. It is important that we start electing people on the basis of their capabilities, what they can deliver, on the basis of track record, so that it's not just our democracy does not become distorted because only people with a lot of money can contest for elections. Now, to the extent that there are rumors that this culture, this negative political culture is also seeping into the local elections, it's actually very worrying and very disturbing. The local elections are so community-based that when we have money creeping into that space as well, you can imagine the danger in which we put ourselves as citizens and as a country.
That's Kathleen Nadi, the chairperson for the NCC, raising concerns about monetization, finding its way also into the district level election. The Electoral Commission will also conduct the local government elections across 6,272 electoral areas in all districts nationwide on Tuesday. We'll get to hear from the Electoral Commission shortly on this, but we'll stay a while longer on it. And we've put the focus on Kokote, and we have a first time, and is the lady who is hoping to lead that electoral area. She's been speaking to us.
Zainab Al-Hassan reviews some of the challenges she has faced when she decided to contest the district level election.
I would say it was a mixed reaction. And so a lot of people are happy that I came up. Then there's the other side. Of course, you can't aspire for any political position and not expect the other side to come at you. We've had people tell me that, you're a woman. Go and concentrate on marriage. You're a woman. Do this. people actually came to my father to tell him to ask me to step down. They didn't come once, they didn't come twice. They came several times. And I believe it's because they think I am a woman. Because we have 4 other men contesting. Why are you asking them to step down, but you are asking me to step down?
Teenage pregnancy and poor sanitation at the Kokote electoral area have been major challenges in the area. Zainab wants to lead a crusade to tackle the menace if elected as assembly member.
I believe as someone who have gone to school, someone who knows a little bit about the going in and out of the assembly and everything, I will be the best person to lead my people to get the things that we deserve as Ghanaians. Currently, I work as a research assistant at the Parliament of Ghana. And being at the Parliament, I have seen the things that are handed to MPs to be moved to their various constituencies, to be given to various assemblies in the constituencies. And so seeing all this, it tells me that a lot of things are going on in the country that the citizenry must benefit from. Okoto market is one of the biggest markets we find here. But the market is so dirty, the market is so deprived of a lot of basic things that a thriving market should have. We don't even have security men to protect the market. And the only reason why we are taking it as it is because there's no one who stood up and spoken against it. And so I believe that if I'm given the opportunity to become the assembly member, these are some of the things that I will look into to ensure that.
That's Zainab Alasan there, ending Anita Sewa Ajugan's report. She's been putting the spotlight on female participation in local governance ahead of the upcoming local elections on December 19. From Kokote, let me bring you back here to Accra. And my colleague Mami Sinyamiche Thompson has been to the EC offices interacting with the EC ahead of that election. Mami, just talk about what the EC has been saying in terms of preparations.
Yes, and as also I've been speaking to Dr. Bosman Asari, Deputy Chairman in charge of corporate services at the EC, and he's been telling me that in the light of logistics, majority of materials, electoral materials, have gone out to the various district electoral areas, and that, talking about preparations, everything is set for Tuesday. Also about security, they've been in collaboration with the Ghana Police Service, and they're sure that in terms of security, during the election process, everything is going to go smoothly. And they anticipate that no incidents will come up. But in case something of the sort comes up, they have measures put in place to ensure that everything goes well. And one thing he's also been saying that is quite striking is that elections will still go ahead in conflict areas. Like in Kwanta in the past months, there have been some conflicts in that area, and says that they have been in touch with security men on the ground and also the security agencies who have not given them any inkling that they cannot have the election. And so the election is going to go on as planned in all those areas as well, MFI.
That's my colleague Mami Sinyamiche Thompson interacting exclusively with Dr. Bosman Asari. That interview will be airing on all our social media platforms, also on the Pulse at 3 p.m. on the Joy News channel. You want to catch that interview with Mami Sinyamiche Thompson and Dr. Bosman Asari. Let's turn our attention to some other stories here on the Midday News. Now, security analyst Dr. Adam Bona is daring the Joaboso District Chief Executive in the Western region, in the Western North region, to deny any knowledge that illegal mining is ongoing in his area. This comes as the Rapid Response Unit of the Forestry Commission in the district have arrested 10 persons, including 4 Chinese nationals and 2 police officers, Detective Sergeant Yahya Andrews and Lance Corporal Azantilo. Listen to the military team questioning.
We are on.
So that's Donko, who's been championing the fight against illegal mining through his stories, has also been sharing some perspectives on this development.
Okusia Forest Reserve is part of the areas that we had wanted to visit, but in fact we were told by our security observers that it was too dangerous. There were armed bandits within the forest who would not hesitate to hurt anybody who tried to venture into that particular area. So we could not go. So I'm very happy that that intervention has started. Based on the information that we